In late May and early June of 2017, I wrote to Canada Bay Council twice to complain about the unsafe engineering treatment of the bike lane in Ian Parade Concord opposite Briars at Greenlee. Ian Parade is a nice wide open road with a 50km speed limit with a kink in the middle. The kink in the road is where the problem lies. Some years ago, Council installed a pedestrian refuge in the middle of the kink and narrowed the road to try to reduce the speed at which people drive through here. When they narrowed the road, Council pushed the curb out a few feet by building a bulge and then had to push the bike lane out as well. The problem is that the bike lane is just a strip of white paint and it does nothing to slow many drivers down. Furthermore, it does nothing to stop drivers from crossing into the bike lane, potentially hitting cyclists from behind at speed. The photos that I sent to Council illustrated the problem quite well and included me being overtaken closely by a truck towing a trailer. Being passed closely by that truck was not a pleasant experience, particularly given the way the trailer moved across to the left as the truck exited the bend. My original suggestion was that Council cut a bike lane through the artificially constructed hump and protect the outside of the lane with a concrete curb. That would still force cars to slow down at the bend to allow pedestrians to cross safely, and would provide complete physical separation between cars and bikes as cars rounded the bend. It would remove all corner cutting into the bike lane by drivers. There is a good example of this sort of road treatment only 100 metres further north on Ian Parade at a roundabout. It's been there for decades. It works well. You'd think that having done it right once, the Council could do it properly again. I revisited the site recently to find that Council has done 4 things. First, they completely ignored my suggestion. Second, they repainted the bike symbol on the road. It was quite faded and worn and it did need a spot of paint. Third, they laid down a section of ripple strip. And lastly, Council repainted the bike lane so it is now bright and shiny for 20 metres or so. Well, did these changes have any impact on driver behaviour and therefore cyclist safety? No, these changes had no noticeable effect at all on driver behaviour or cyclist safety. I recorded the traffic on this bend for 5 minutes. In that time, I counted 58 vehicles. Only 12 of them went around the bend safely and outside the ripple strip. Well, this is a non-compliance safety failure rate of nearly 80%. By any safety standard, that's a massive fail. This is a safety engineering disaster, and the ripple strip has only served to apply a thin coating of lipstick to a very ugly pig. I now present to you 3 minutes of drivers failing to negotiate this bend in the way that Council engineers originally envisaged. You can clearly hear the cars driving over or along the ripple strip. Sadly, engineers have a concept of how people should behave when driving, but that rarely survives contact with reality on the road. Speeding, 53, outside, into the bike lane. The radar's not very good. Outside, on the ripple strip, into the bike lane. And into the bike lane. Right across the bike lane. On the ripple strip, outside, across the ripple strip, across the ripple strip, outside the ripple strip, on the ripple strip, well way across, on the ripple strip, comes across the ripple strip, way into the bike lane, across the ripple strip, for Briars in case you're wondering. 10 cars coming, let's see what we get. Way across the ripple strip, outside the ripple strip, across the ripple strip, way into, almost touches the drain, outside the ripple strip, outside, way across the ripple strip, on the ripple strip. Ooh, managed to stay outside. We're turning outside, yeah, across the ripple strip.
across the Ripple Street.
Let's revisit how council has dealt with this problem over the last 20 years or so in the Concord and Mortlake areas and see where they got it right. Well, this one's a stuff up. This one's a stuff up. Another stuff up. And here's another stuff up in Warringah that's only 2 to 3 years old. However, this design works. I can't fathom why good working designs are rejected and unworkable half-assed designs that don't do anything to fix the problem are adopted. Yeah, I know the council budget isn't bottomless. Money is tight. The council doesn't have the money to splash on basic safety initiatives.